So it's the beginning of February, time to show you how much passive income my $27,000 dividend portfolio made me in the month of January 2024. For those that don't know me, hi, my name is Miguel and I have a love for personal finance and fitness. Before I show you how much passive income I made in the month of January 2024, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, leave a like on the video, and then comment down below how much passive income you made this month. One of the best parts about the dividend stock community is seeing how much everyone else made as well. Now, spoiler alert, this is the biggest month that I have ever had in my dividend portfolio. But before we get into that, let's go over my portfolio performance. So as we can see on the day, we're up $390.41 or about 1.44%. On the week, we're up $219.23 or about 0.8%. On the month, we were up $714.20 or about 2.66%. On the 3 months, we were up $2,992.99 or 12.19%. On the year to date, we were up $629.12 or about 2.34%. On the year, we were up $2,273.90 or about 9%. And then on the all-time high, we were absolutely killing it. We were up $5,275.21 or about 23%. Now, keep in mind, I have been investing into this portfolio for the past 3 years. Of course, with the mentality of getting passive income as a result. I have what most people consider to be a passive income portfolio, so it's not necessarily for growth, even though, as we can see, I do get growth as a side effect or as a bonus, however you want to look at it. Keep that in mind when I'm going over all the passive income that I get. More recently, I have been thinking about adding growth stocks into my portfolio because there are such things as dividend growth stocks. So let me know what are some good ones that I can get into. The one that I'm looking at right now most recently is SCHD. Hopping into the first dividend payment that I got for the month of January 2024. On January 8th, 2024, MRK paid me $11.98. At the time, they were paying 77 cents per share, and I had 15.56 shares, which paid me the $11.98. Over the past year and a half or so, since I have bought more MRK, they have been on the up. Because I have such a nice average cost, I haven't bought any more of MRK, but a stock that I am definitely keeping my eye on because if their price goes down even a little bit, I can afford to increase my average cost, and I definitely don't mind owning more MRK. The second dividend payment that I got was from AG&C that I no longer own, but at the time I had 14.43 shares and they were paying 12 cents per share, which paid me $1.74. I sold out of AG&C because I saw more opportunity buying Realty Income right now, which if you don't know, Realty Income and AG&C are both REITs. Realty Income has just been steadily below $60, which for me personally, I think that's undervalued. So I have been putting a lot of money into Realty Income and AG&C. I just ended up taking my losses, even though they are pretty consistent with their dividend. The next dividend payment that I got was from Main Street Capital. At the time, I had 11.45 shares and they're paying 24 cents per share, which gave me $2.75. I just more recently bought more Main Street Capital. Something that has been holding me back in buying more good quality stocks like Main Street Capital is my average cost. It's kind of hard in my head to break my average cost because in a lot of my stocks, I have such a good average cost, I'm kind of afraid to raise them. But I have to keep reminding myself that I'm investing over the long term. That's why I want to shift my mindset more to growth stocks and stocks that I can really invest consistently every single week. The next dividend payment that I got was actually a bonus dividend payment that I got from one of my favorite stocks, probably my favorite stock, and that's Costco. At the time, I had 3.76 shares, and they were paying $15 as a bonus, which gave me $56.80. Costco was another stock in my portfolio that's about to hit $1,000. They make up the most in my portfolio at about 11% right now, and I personally only bought about 6 to 7% of that. The other percent is just gains from Costco. I absolutely love Costco, and it's a stock that I haven't had trouble buying more of and keeping up my average cost. That's just because I know long term they're going to consistently go up and sometimes pay some amazing special dividends. The next dividend payment that I got was from Realty Income, and at the time I had 28.56 shares and they were paying 25 cents per share, which gave me $7.33. I do think now I have 10 more shares, like 38 shares or something like that, ever since I sold AG&C. Again, I cannot praise this company enough. Not only have they been paying, but they've also been increasing their dividend for the past 29 years. They're obviously dividend aristocrats. They're going to be dividend kings. And I'm in this company long term. As long as they're below 60 right now, I'm going to buy more of their stock. The next dividend payment that I got was actually a dividend payment from getting a free stock, which is even better. At the time, I owned 1 share of O&O, which paid 10 cents, so I got 10 cents. I believe it was Realty Income that actually did a stock split with O&L. So I was actually wrong. I thought it was 16 shares, but it was actually 10 shares. My bad. For every 1 stock of Realty Income that you owned. So it came out to a perfect 1 share for me. So basically it's a dividend on getting a free dividend, if you will. I think I'm just going to hold on to this long term because it's pretty cool to get passive income on passive income that's gifted to you. Okay, the next dividend payment that I got was from one of my ETFs. PEY, at the time I had 10.94 shares and they were paying 8 cents per share, which gave me 92 cents. I bought into PEY at the same time that I bought into SPHD. I have a decent average cost in this. But like I said, I'm looking for more growth stocks. So I do think I'm going to sell PEY and invest into SCHD. I just want to slowly start adding more growth stocks into my portfolio so I can get the best of both worlds. I can grow as well as get passive income. The next dividend payment that I got was from SPHD. At the time, I had 62.31 shares, and they were paying 15 cents per share, which gave me $9.54. I'm buying a lot more of SPHD recently, since a lot of my top performing stocks like Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Apple, and Costco, since they're all reaching that $1,000 gain mark, they have also brought up their value in my portfolio a lot. A lot of them are closer to 10% now, so I am going to start buying more ETFs to kind of bring them down value-wise in my portfolio. What I personally want to shoot for is to not have one stock more than 10% of my entire portfolio for diversification reasons and because I think it's a little bit safer. The next dividend payment that I got and the last dividend payment that I got in this specific portfolio was from Chase Bank. At the time, I had 11.35 shares and they're paying $1.05 per share, which gave me $11.93. Honestly, with Chase Bank, about 2 summers ago, I saw that they went down in value below what I consider them to be fair market value. A lot of people were saying not to buy them, but I just had this gut feeling that they were going to go up in value, and I didn't think that that was their true value cost. I bought in at a pretty decent time about 2 summers ago, and I've just held on ever since. They are coming back down a little bit now, but that's okay because I am up overall with my average cost. And if they do end up going down, I believe in them long term, so I'm probably going to end up picking up more. Now, the last 2 dividend payments that I got were actually from my other portfolio. I started a more aggressive dividend portfolio over on Public, and I started this portfolio because I wanted to do a little experiment. I invested only into aggressive dividend stocks that pay above 9 to 10% just to see how consistent it was, just to see how much money I lost. So at the moment, I have about $1,200 invested into both QYLD and JEPI. And so far, I'm about break even with the losses that I have in both QYLD and JEPI and the passive income that I've gotten from them over the past year and a half. So from QYLD, they paid me $6.42. And with JEPI, I got paid $4.89. Throughout this year and a half of this little experiment that I've been doing, I found that JEPI is probably my favorite. That's just because they don't go down in value too much, and they have been consistently paying out this dividend for the past year and a half. It's pretty insane. And they're pretty aggressive at like a 9 or 10% dividend yield. Okay, so adding up all of the dividend payments that I got from January 2024, I made $114.40. That is my biggest month yet. It's pretty cool to see, and a huge reason for that is because of that Costco special dividend. So without that, we saw that I still grew. Last year, I got $49.83 in January of 2023. And even without that special dividend, I would still be at like $59, almost $60. But I do think that it's not a bad thing that I'm not growing as aggressively as we can see from 2022 to 2023. I almost doubled. So even though I didn't double this year, I think it's because I'm focusing on more growth stocks now. Realistically, I'm not going to live off this portfolio for at least 20 years. And either way, I'm still going to continue to grow this portfolio year over year. Since it is January, that brings my running total for the year of 2024 to $114.40. Now, hopping into my main investing tool that I use, which is trackmydividends.com. This is totally free to use, and I've been using this over the past 3 years. And it really helps me keep me motivated because if you go to the future value section, you can input how much money you're investing, which I'm currently investing $250 every single week, which turns out to be roughly $13,000 a year. I will go from making $987 right now to $8,519 in 10 years. And my portfolio value will be about $228,000. Sometimes I do lose motivation, especially when there's a down market and it feels like, why am I doing this? I like to look at my portfolio and see the future value, just consistently invest every single week and not get discouraged because everyone has steam at the beginning and then you just go up and down consistently like I've been doing over the past 3 years. But making these YouTube videos definitely helps keep me accountable and helps keep that motivation going. But again, the goal for this portfolio is to be able to live off the dividends that it produces, hopefully in 15 to 20 years. But that's how much money I made in January of 2024. In my next video, I'm going to be posting an entire monthly budget breakdown, how much money I made as a full-time content creator as well as a full-time teacher. So that'll be a fun video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on the video. And then again, tell me what stocks you are buying into that are growth dividend stocks in the comments down below. Catch you next week.